Hello listeners, welcome back to SpeakEC, your easy learning channel. Today let us look the type of resources in this environment. There are three main categories of resources: natural resources, human-made resources, human resources. Let's start with natural resources. Natural resources are naturally occurring substances that have considered valuable in their natural form. A natural resource's value rests in the amount of the material available and the demand for it. Let us look at some of the natural resources. The air we breathe, the water we drink, the land we live on and cultivate grains, the minerals that we extract from the earth, the sunshine that is essential for life. These natural resources are drawn from nature and used without much alteration. They are free gifts from nature and can be used by man directly. Natural resources are classified into different categories depending on various factors. They are natural resources that need development, the origin of the natural resources, the availability and distribution of the resources. Natural resources which need development can be further divided into actual resources, potential resources. Actual resources are those which have been surveyed, their quantity and quality determined and are being used in present times. The petroleum and the natural gas which is obtained from the Mumbai high fields and West Asia. The rich deposits of coal in Ruhr region of Germany. Dark soils of the Deccan Plateau in Maharashtra. The Mumbai High Basin is situated in the Arabian Sea, about 160 kilometers off the Mumbai coast. Ever since its discovery in 1974, it has remained the largest producer of oil in the country. The Mumbai High Basin is 75 kilometers long and stretches across 25 kilometers. The field has more than 551 oil wells and 33 gas wells. The development of an actual resource, such as wood processing, depends upon available technology and the cost involved. That part of the actual resource which can be developed profitably with available technology is called a reserve. Potential resources are resources which exist in a region and which can be used in the future. Mineral oil may exist in many parts of India where sedimentary rocks are found, but till it is actually drilled out and put into use, it remains a potential resource. The uranium found in Ladakh is potential resource that could be used in the future. High-speed winds were a potential resource 200 years ago. Today they are an actual resource and wind farms generate energy using windmills like in Netherlands, Nagercoil in Tamil Nadu and on the Gujarat coast. Wind power is the fastest growing energy source in the world. A wind turbine works the opposite of a fan. Instead of using electricity to make wind, a turbine uses wind to make electricity. The wind turns the blades, which spin a shaft, which connects to a generator and makes electricity. The electricity is sent through transmission and distribution lines to a substation, then on to homes, business houses and schools. Wind turbines do not have any adverse effect on the environmental. That's why wind power is gaining popularity. It is also becoming economically competitive with more conventional power sources, a fact that's greatly improving its prospects as a viable energy source. Now let us move on to the second classification of natural resources, that is based on the origin of the natural resource. Here again the resources is divided into two categories. They are abiotic natural resource, biotic natural resource. Abiotic resources comprise of non-living things like land, water, air and minerals such as gold, iron, copper and silver. Abiotic resources are not renewable, as they can be exhausted by excessive use and their rate of formation is very slow. The usefulness of the abiotic resources depends upon their accessibility and their value. Their total reserve cannot be increased by human efforts. These resources are in great demand for the development of industries. Biotic resources are the ones which are obtained from the biosphere. Forests and their products, animals, birds and their products, fish and other marine organisms are examples of biotic natural resources. Minerals such as coal and petroleum are also included in this category as they were formed from decayed organic matter. The biosphere includes the atmosphere, the hydrosphere, the lithosphere and the ecosphere. Atmosphere is the air around us. Hydrosphere is the accumulation of water in all its states. Lithosphere is the thin crust between the mantle and the atmosphere. Ecosphere is the set of all living organisms, including animals and vegetation. The third classification of natural resources depends on its availability and can be divided further into renewable resource, non-renewable resource. Renewable resources are resources which can be replaced or reproduced easily. Sunlight, air and wind are resources that are continuously available and their quantity is not affected by human consumption. Many renewable resources can be depleted by human use, but are replaced and the balance is maintained. For example, agricultural crops take a short time for renewal, others, like water, take a comparatively longer time, while still others, like forests, take even longer. Non-renewable resources are formed over very long geological periods. Minerals and fossils are included in this category. Since their rate of formation is extremely slow, they cannot be replenished once they get depleted. Metallic minerals can be reused by recycling while coal and petroleum cannot be recycled. These resources get exhausted after use and they do not get renewed within the lifespan of a human being. The rapid growth of population is also contributing to an increased demand and production. Second category is human-made resources. Human-made resources are resources that are created by humans to transform and use the gifts of nature. Sometimes resources become useful to man only when their original form is changed. Let us look at some of the man-made resources. Buildings, roads, vehicles, machinery and equipment. These resources which are very useful to man are made by man using natural resources. Machinery, vehicles and equipment need different kinds of metals which are natural resources. Third category is human resources. Human beings are also considered to be resources because it is the ability of humans what helps to change the gifts of nature into valuable resources. Human beings are considered a special resource. Education and health help in making people a valuable resource. We have the ability to transform physical material into valuable resource. Following are the inventions that are made by man, whom we call human resource. The discovery of fire that led to the practice of cooking. The invention of the wheel that made it possible for man to travel from place to place. The invention of electricity that made a million things possible. Now let us see about conserving resources. Resource conservation is the planned usage of natural resources to optimize their utility. Resources have to be used carefully and given time to get renewed. Balancing the need to use resources and also conserve them for the future is called sustainable development. There are many ways of conserving resources. 1. Energy conservation. 2. Habitat conservation. 3. Water conservation. 4. Wildlife conservation. Soil conservation. Conservation biology refers to the application of science to the conservation of populations, species, and ecosystems. An ecosystem is a natural unit consisting of all plants, animals and microorganisms, biotic factors, in an area functioning together with all of the non-living physical, abiotic, factors of the environment. After reading all this, as a human it is our responsibility to reduce consumption, recycling, reusing things. Ultimately it makes a difference because all our lives are linked. The future of our Earth is linked with the ability of the people to maintain and preserve our environment. Each one of us, young or old, boy or girl, can play a part in saving our precious Earth for the future. Thank you listeners. If you like the video please give a like and comment. Subscribe to Speaker to get more videos. Thank you again.